Welcome to the virtual lunch. Today is Friday, December 10th, and this is virtual lunch number 453. Our guest today is Candice Hunter Corby, the CEO of Cobra Legal Solutions. And this is part of our continuing series on lessons learned and looking ahead with Cobra. Hi, Candice. How are you?
Terrific. Great to be here, Ari.
Oh, it's our privilege, and I'm really excited to have this conversation. Tell us about your background and your role at Cobra Legal Solutions.
I am the CEO of Cobra Legal Solutions. I run and foster an incredible group of lawyers and technologists around the world so that they can meet and do whatever they want to do and meet their potential. We are an incredibly diverse and inclusive organization. I will start asking people, have you Cobra'd today? So we are going to harness our inner Cobra. Cobra is an action verb. So that's our culture statement, is to harness our inner Cobra. And when we say collaborate, we mean be your authentic person and do that with others. Observe, listen, coach, believe in the mission, believe in what you're doing, believe in yourself and the people that are around you. Respect, that's our diversity, inclusion, and equity, everything that we're trying to do. And then finally, once you've done all of those four, act. My mission is to help my employees. If my employees are doing great and they can bring their whole selves to work, they're going to be exceptional, and then they're going to do an exceptional job for our clients. So it's solutions results oriented, but my focus has to be internal on my team and making sure that that team is as strong as it possibly can be. Once that is the case, then everything else falls into place. The management team really has a vision, and we've gotten together in a room a number of times now, recently, just this past month in Wyoming, and just sat in the room and said, okay, what do we want to be when we grow up, and how do we get there? So we really have put together a roadmap. We then also put together that critical thinking, that management team, that vision, and we went out and we got capitalized. We brought in Blue Sage Capital as a majority investor this year. We then went and purchased a forensics and collections company out of Dallas, and we just continue to grow. 2021 has been a really fantastic ride. One of the things that's interesting about Cobra is we're 100% virtual at this point. We used to have really big review footprints in various places. We'd have 20% or more of our team in-house and in different places. So we have attorneys everywhere. We have technologists everywhere. We travel to various places around the country, but we do everything via video. We have our Teams open all day long. You send somebody a Teams chat, it's like stopping by their office. Our productivity has really gone through the roof during the pandemic, probably more so than others. Some people have said to me that they were less productive because they're not in the same room or seeing people as much. With Cobra, because we were already so spread out in the US and in India and in other countries, that we're actually seeing each other more with the onslaught of Zoom and Teams and video conferencing. Employees are wanting that. They want the ability to work from anywhere. They want the ability to be remote and come in when necessary, be present when necessary. Obviously, there's value in face-to-face. There's value in being in the same room. But that being the case, I still think there's value in face-to-face meetings, but it's not an everyday necessity anymore, in my opinion. And I think that freedom gives everybody the freedom to work where they want to, and they're more productive doing it. We have a couple of products that we sell, and some of it we actually just provide as a differentiator to our clients. One of those is Cobra Pulse, and it's a dashboard software that sits on top of all the time and billing as well as relativity. So it pulls all of the billing and productivity stats into one dashboard for our clients. Very interactive, shows them where they are from a technology spend. If they have an annual subscription, they know how much they have on host with us at any given time. They can track budgets for all of their projects, all of that. So that was developed internally by our team. Interesting thing is We were the diversity and inclusion and equity company well before that was a thing. Cobra has been obviously female led. We actually have 63% women worldwide, and we're 89% diverse across the globe. So those are huge stats. And a lot of times people will say, well, Candice, oh, your diversity is because you have Indian attorneys instead of US attorneys. No, but that means you don't know anything about India if you're saying that to me. Because in India, there's about 60 different, I would say, cultures, if you will. It was a whole bunch of different little countries that jammed themselves all together with different languages, different cultures, different religions, different backgrounds. We have every religion you can imagine: Christian, Muslim, Hindu, you name it, and we celebrate all of those. So one of the things that's big for us is everybody bringing their full self to work. So if you're celebrating Pongal, we're going to celebrate it with you. If you are celebrating a festival, we're going to celebrate it with you. And that's one of the things that really sets us apart. We were recognized by the United Nations for doing so. And this year, Cobra won the bronze medal for religious freedom and business in the workplace. One of the things we do is we do a double-blind testing. So we don't know what anybody's background is, what their religion is, or their affiliation, or their sexual orientation, or the color of their skin. We don't know any of that when they're taking their exam. We don't even know if they're male or female. And we score that exam, and then they come in for interview, but it's double blind. And it just so happens that when you do that, you get a really fantastic, diverse organization like Cobra.
Yeah.
So initially, it's an online test. It's loosely like the LSAT. So you take this test, it's scored, we don't know who you are, then it's who the top candidates are. And it's a very broad brush of everything you can come up with. Once the scores come in, then you have a discussion. And obviously, eventually, we're going to know what somebody looks like because we're going to see them eventually. But there's nobody who is taken out of the mix or anything like that in the front end. So it's all based on score. The reality is that I have not just had one mentor in my life, I've had many. And they've been men, they've been women, they've been from all walks of life. Reason why I say it's my personal board of directors, you always want to appoint yourself as chairman or chairwoman of your own board so that you can make the decisions. But the reality is, if you don't know something, that's okay. Find someone who does. So fill in the gaps. It's okay not to know everything. I don't know everything, but the reality is I go after that knowledge. And I have a thirst for knowledge, and that's why I have a personal board of directors. It's people who know something that I don't know and know more than me, and that's a lot of people. So yeah, I've been mentored by a lot of people. I've asked a lot of questions. A big part of it is you've got to be able and willing to put yourself out there and understand that you don't know everything and really listen. That's a key for me, is listening to everyone. Everyone has something to say and something to offer. You may not agree with it, but you'll get some tidbit out of it. A lot of things for me is women's empowerment and children and poverty. Those are the keys for me as far as philanthropic interests. And so Zach Theater, one of the big things that they do is they bring kids in and they show them theater and musicals and all of that. Any kid that wants to go to theater school or camp over the summer, regardless if they can pay for it or not, they can go. So there's those types of things, and giving opportunity to kids that might not have that. There's also a part of life and success and the passion about what you're doing and how you're making a difference, to me, is huge. Don't just exist, make a difference and be different. One of the things we always say at Cobra is we make a difference because we're different. If you have a passion for something, then you can support that. You're getting as much as you're giving. Probably more. I grew up very poor, so I'm one of those kids. I look at those kids and I see myself. And so I'm giving them an opportunity like someone gave me. And if there's something that you're passionate about, it helps your mental health, and it also helps that worldview.
Candice Hunter Corby, everybody. That was fantastic. Candice, thank you so much for being our guest today. Thanks, of course, to Cobra for supporting this series on lessons learned and looking ahead. I wish everyone a fantastic weekend.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys, for having me.